He was called a radical, a troublemaker, a threat to America. But to millions, he was a voice of courage in a world of silence. His words shook the foundations of racism and inspired generations to rise. This is the story of Malcolm X, one of the most powerful and controversial leaders in the fight for civil rights. He found new purpose in the teachings of the Nation of Islam, led by Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm Little was born in 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. His father, a Baptist preacher, was a proud follower of Marcus Garvey, teaching his children to be proud of their African roots. But white supremacists hated that pride. When Malcolm was just 6 years old, his father was brutally killed, believed to be murdered by white extremists. His mother, devastated and impoverished, was institutionalized. By his teens, Malcolm was on his own, hustling on the streets of Boston and Harlem, drifting deeper into crime. Behind bars, Malcolm discovered the power of words. He devoured history, philosophy, and religion, teaching himself by copying entire dictionaries. By the time he left prison in 1952, Malcolm Little was gone. In his place stood Malcolm X, the X symbolizing the lost African name stolen by slavery. Malcolm X quickly rose to become the Nation of Islam's most powerful minister. His fiery speeches condemned racism, police brutality, and white supremacy with a raw honesty America had never heard before. Where others spoke of patience, Malcolm demanded action. Where others dreamed of integration, Malcolm declared, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us." For millions of African Americans, his words were a spark igniting pride, dignity, and resistance. But Malcolm's rising fame brought conflict. His outspoken nature and growing influence, disillusioned by hypocrisy within the nation, Malcolm broke away in 1964. That same year, he made a pilgrimage to Mecca, journey that transformed him. For the first time, he saw Muslims of all races praying together, equal before God. It changed his vision. Malcolm began to believe racism wasn't just a black and white struggle in America, it was a human rights battle worldwide. After Mecca, Malcolm spoke not just to African Americans, but to the world. He connected the fight in Harlem to the struggles in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. He founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity, calling for solidarity across nations. He began to soften his stance, reaching out to other civil rights leaders, even Martin Luther King Jr. Though they had once stood on opposite sides, Malcolm now sought unity in the fight for freedom. But Malcolm's new vision made him a target. On February 21, 1965, as he prepared to address a crowd in Harlem's Audubon Ballroom, gunfire erupted. Malcolm X was assassinated at just 39 years old. The man who had risen from the ashes of poverty and prison to become a global voice for justice was silenced, or so his killers thought. Malcolm X's life was short, but his impact was eternal. His autobiography continues to inspire millions. His words about dignity, self-respect, and freedom still echo in the streets today. Malcolm once said, "If you're not ready to die for it, put the word freedom out of your vocabulary." He lived by those words, and his legacy continues to fuel the struggle for justice, not just in America, but around the world. Clashed with Elijah Muhammad.